Hey guys, what's going on? Third Street Reactions here. I'm Shane.
Zach.
We're here with Dragon Ball Daima. Wow. Season 1, Episode 14. Zach, last episode, we're still making continuation of all the gates closing down and everything else. Things are heating up.
We found out that Nava, or Nava, however you pronounce his name, the old Namekian, that he's the one that created those gates.
Like the Reapers.
And so in a sense, he had to, obviously could take him down.
Like the Reapers.
To keep things interesting.
Yeah.
We were introduced to the Jandarn, or the
military?
Yeah, the military force.
Yeah,
for,
it's based off the French word.
Yeah, for, shit, what do you call these people? The Majin.
The Majin ruling class.
Yeah. So, but they had that little Ginyu Force type deal.
Yeah.
They brought those guys in, and they were like shooting up the fucking mansion.
It's funny, when I started watching Dragon Ball Z as a kid, it was all action and drama, and when you had little bits of humor, I always thought, when I was young and dumb, it was tonally kind of weird. I didn't realize that a lot of Japanese stuff is like that. And then Dragon Ball's like that a lot, and this is like that a lot, and Dragon Ball Super is a lot. Z was like this kind of.
It was the serious.
Yeah.
Pocket.
Yeah, and I've embraced it. Not as cool as obviously the Ginyu Force. I mean, they're just amazing. Yeah,
no, that was just done much better in terms of like the characters and them being so individual.
And Ginyu looks cool.
He does.
I mean, he's ugly, but he looks cool.
Yeah, I agree. And the rest of the crew didn't really look that cool. But Captain Ginyu.
Birder, I thought Jason Birder looked kind of cool.
They're okay.
Yeah.
They look very well. I mean, when you think about Dragon Ball Z, they fit.
Yeah.
But other than that, they
look like B tier guys for sure. But,
well, they do, but I just feel like that team works so well because for one, they were very individualistic. Raccoon was just a big idiot with a stupid haircut.
Who's the little guy who can hold his breath?
Goldo.
That's like the best power.
That was he had with him running around and he's like trying to hold his breath.
It was hilarious.
Hanging on forever.
It was like the best power, I think. Like.
Yeah, I mean they all had Raccoon was just strong.
Yeah.
Birder and Jace were kind of strong and fast, but they just.
One of them was like Birder, Jace. Now Birder's the one he's supposedly the fastest guy in the universe, right?
That's what I'm saying. That they kind of fancied themselves as being more than what they were.
Yeah. But
they weren't necessarily. Nothing was. The only individualist, the powers that stood out the most were Ginyu and Goldo.
Yeah, for sure.
Goldo can hold his breath and stop time, and Ginyu can switch bodies.
Yeah.
So.
How do you think? How'd you feel about that?
Switching bodies?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess in his line of work, it's pretty damn handy.
Yeah. So do you think Ginyu was his original body?
No, I doubt it.
I wonder what his original body looked like.
I don't know. But he just, would find strong people and take them over, and it just, in this case, he picked the wrong person. It didn't work out.
Fucking
picked
awful.
the wrong party to tango with.
I was afraid in Kai they would cut out, which is also in the manga. And it's the manga and Z have the full versions of this scene I'm talking about. It's like this extended scene where Gohan is imagining his life with his father being that guy, and it's fucking hilarious. He's like, I can't live like that, and
yeah.
He's dreaming about Hem and Chi-Chi like at the table eating. He's like, ha ha ha, and it's fucking hilarious. Yeah, guys, before we jump into this, just so you know, click on the link in the description. That's where the reaction is. We don't put it on YouTube because it's anime and there's all kinds of stuff with copyright, and we're not trying to have our channel taken down. But go there if you want to support us. You also have full-length uncut reactions and 4-week early access for most of our shows. Not this one, but we're trying to get caught up. Now, the show is about to end like next week. I'm sorry, it already ended. But the English dub, which is what we watch, that's going to be airing next week. Okay. So, yeah, we're creeping up on it, and so far I've been pretty impressed. Let's jump in. What do you think of that?
It was good. I thought that I'm crying foul that they didn't turn Super Saiyan earlier.
You and I are both thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of consistent that they never power up unless they need to. Which
I get that, and I understand.
And I never liked
energy and everything like that, but I just feel like in that circumstance, when lives are on the line.
Yeah, when lives are on the line, I'm never a fan. Every time I rewatch Dragon Ball Z, thinking, all right, well, you're taking some shots. It looks like it hurts. Why don't you just, you know what I mean? Why don't you just...
And they're always like, oh, I just want to see what you're made of.
Yeah.
Power up. So
Yeah, I mean,
they love to fight. I get that. It's part of their nature. But
and this, like, lives on the line, it looked too desperate for it to just be something that they were holding back until the right moment.
yeah.
But then again, when Goku turned, when he didn't, like after he had help and didn't need to turn, he turned and just, it was nothing.
Wiped everybody out.
Yeah, it was nothing.
I know. I agree.
Yeah, so same thing, kind of a foul, but you know, whatever. It's kind of consistent, so I won't complain too much. It was a pretty episode. I love the word miscreants,
Yeah.
cretins, and riffraff, and he used all three.
What did you think about the third eye or the Turgeon oculus?
That was my favorite part of the episode, actually. Just that
It's cool.
The introduction of that little story and what does it mean and why does he want it.
Yeah, and it's very in keeping with kind of old school Toriyama, where the just random shit just pops up.
Yeah.
And you just introduce these things to the story. It's not like it's been a hyper focus of the entire series.
Yeah. So Deborah, it was Abora before him,
Yeah, his dad was a Bura.
and then he tried to screw over his dad, take the eye.
He did. He did screw over his dad. He did take over the throne.
Yeah.
And his whole thing is like, well, it doesn't matter. The eye's out of the picture.
Wouldn't you be worried, like, what if someone else finds that eye and they could use it against me?
One would think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I liked all that stuff, and it just makes me curious on, like, they just dropped a lot of info on the eye and it being important, and...
What's nice, too, is the Majin world is another world that we can explore and learn
Yeah.
and enjoy, versus we've already been on Earth, obviously, through all of Dragon Ball.
But then
The mysterious elements of that, sorry. And Dragon Ball Z, you had flashbacks on Vegeta, you had, and also Super included, you had all these other planets, like Namek, like some staple
Yeah.
things that became part of the lore. And then
Well, here
where
you
else
get to...
where else can it go? We were introduced to the Majin in the last season of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
And then Dragon Ball Super does not explore that too much. It's more about, like, there's some elements of it with the Kais
Yeah.
and everything like that, but it's another realm we can explore. We already saw, quote unquote, the heavens, like the Kais and their planets
Mm-hmm.
and whatnot. So it's now taking us down to what you might describe as the underworld.
Yeah,
Even though we know hell is different because we saw that in Dragon Ball Z in the first season
yeah.
with Snake Way and
GT had, like, I mean, I never watched it, but I know there were like Raditz and Nappa, and then we're in hell,
yeah.
and so was Frieza.
Then they get out. Actually, and Vegeta kills Nappa again, and
Really?
everything
That's kind of
else,
cool. I mean, those are some characters I'd like to see whoosh back or like somehow get involved in the story. I mean, it just, they're so canonized within me now. It's like, oh man, they were so brief though. Kind of like Darth Maul.
They were, but they served their purpose. I mean, Maul is a very different story because he's very much like there's a lot of focus on someone like that who's developed as a Sith apprentice, supposedly dies, comes back. He stands out. I mean, just as much as a Saiyan would, I guess. But
Well, just Raditz, like that was his brother. I feel like I've always thought like there could be more there, like something.
Well, that was never their relationship.
Yeah.
Raditz was not sentimental. He was just using that to try to prod Goku
Yeah.
into action.
But I almost feel
Nappa,
like their rivalry could have been a lot more epic.
It could have been, but honestly, if you go from Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z, and
Yeah.
that leap,
Yeah.
all of a sudden the big bad, the big heavy, going into this series of the comic or the anime, and he's not only so much stronger, but he's also Goku's brother. He brings in Goku's past.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely
And-
cool. It's definitely like if you're watching Dragon Ball and you find, oh shit, he's an alien, and
Yeah.
this, and I mean, it's definitely really cool.
Yeah, and Nappa was kind of just, in a way, it was kind of like he offset Vegeta because, I think he's the big, strong-looking guy, but he's
Yeah.
actually weaker.
Yeah.
And he's kind of an idiot.
Yeah.
So it plays into the story and the fight and how everything went because no one could beat Nappa, and Nappa pretty much wiped out most of their crew.
Mm-hmm.
And then Goku shows up, wipes the floor with him, and then it's him and Vegeta.
I mean, and the only reason freaking Goku won is because he got lucky.
He got lucky. The Kaioken technique is what really
Yeah.
got him out of that because the Spirit Bomb didn't work on Vegeta,
Yeah.
And
But then, I mean, he was going to die until Yajirobe cut off the tail.
oh, absolutely.
I mean, he was done.
But that's what was cool about it. Is
Yeah.
this random
He's a
incident
unsung
of this-
hero.
Yeah, this is this fat coward.
I saw some Instagram short about like Yajirobe is actually a badass. Like in Dragon Ball, I guess he's
Yeah,
really,
he
I
was
guess
really-
he beats Krillin and stuff, doesn't he? Like
He's
just
really capable in Dragon
he just doesn't
Ball.
like fighting or something.
Yeah, he's just
just
like lazy. He's fat and lazy and likes to eat. And,
Yeah.
and he found his home with Korin.
Yeah.
And he's just like, yeah, whatever, man. And then he just goes and does this thing. And
Yeah. I'm really liking it. Just wondering what's going to happen next. Guys, if you don't want to wait like we have to, check us out on Patreon to see early access. Much love. See you next time.